Hey everyone, welcome back to Tech Fresh Bite. Welcome to this JavaScript video. In this lesson, you will learn the core JavaScript topics. We will start with an introduction to JavaScript. Then, we will learn about variables and data types. After that, we will explore basic operators. We will also learn about functions and how to reuse code. By the end of this video, you will have a strong foundation in JavaScript. Let's get started. Welcome to this exciting introduction to JavaScript. In this video, we'll dive into what JavaScript is, its role in web development, and how you can get started with it today. So, what exactly is JavaScript? It's a programming language that makes websites interactive. Without JavaScript, a web page would just be a static collection of text and images. But with JavaScript, we can add features like interactive forms, animations, dynamic content updates, and much more. JavaScript is used in both front-end and back-end development. On the front end, it helps you create interactive elements on a web page, like drop-down menus, image sliders, and real-time updates. On the back end, JavaScript, with tools like Node.js, allows you to manage servers, databases, and API requests. Before you start coding in JavaScript, you'll need a development environment. This means setting up a code editor like Visual Studio Code where you can write your JavaScript code. And don't forget your browser. Whether it's Chrome, Firefox, or Edge, all modern browsers have built-in developer tools that make testing and debugging your code easy. Show the F12 developer tools being opened in the browser and highlight the console tab. Now let's write our first line of JavaScript code. Open your editor and type this, console.log. This line of code will print the message hello world to the browser's console. The console.log method is one of the most important tools for debugging your code. It helps you print output to the console so you can check if everything is working as expected. Today, we're diving into one of the most fundamental topics in JavaScript. Variables and data types. Whether you're storing text, numbers, or more complex data, understanding how JavaScript handles data is essential for every developer. Let's start with variables. A variable is like a container that stores data. You can access it, update it, and reuse it anytime. In JavaScript, we declare variables using var, let, and const. Each behaves a little differently. Var is function scoped and older. Let is block scoped and changeable. Const is block scoped and cannot be reassigned. Primitive data types are the basic building blocks in JavaScript. Now let's look at reference data types, objects and arrays. One tricky concept in JavaScript is type coercion, automatic type conversion. JavaScript converted the number into a string, console.log. Great job! You now understand how JavaScript stores and handles data. Welcome back. Now let's explore basic operators, the tools that help JavaScript work with data. These operators perform mathematical calculations. Comparison operators return true or false. Always prefer tapis for safer comparisons. Let is adult, jar true. Let has ticket, jar false. Is adult and has ticket. Is adult, jar has ticket. Is adult. These operators help keep your code clean and readable. Let first name, de Sanchit. Let last name, de Alem. First name, plus last name. Template literals are cleaner and more powerful. You've just built a strong foundation in JavaScript. We're going to explore basic operators in JavaScript. Operators are essential tools that let us perform operations on data, whether it's numbers, strings, or logical values. Let's start with arithmetic operators. These operators are used to perform basic mathematical calculations in JavaScript. JavaScript provides 5 common arithmetic operators. We use these operators to add, subtract, multiply, divide, and find remainders. The modulus operator % is especially useful for checking divisibility. Next, let's look at comparison operators. These operators compare two values and return either true or false. Notice the difference between double equals and triple equals. The strict equality operator checks both the value and the data type. Now let's explore logical operators. These operators work with Boolean values, true or false. The AND operator requires both conditions to be true. The OR operator needs at least one condition to be true, and not simply reverses the Boolean value. Next are assignment operators. These operators assign and update values stored in variables. Assignment operators help keep your code clean and readable. They're a shorter way to update variable values. You can combine strings in JavaScript using the plus operator. A more modern and cleaner approach is using template literals. Template literals use backticks and allow you to embed variables directly inside strings. Let's recap what we've learned. Arithmetic, comparison, logical, assignment operators, and string handling. These operators form the foundation of JavaScript programming. Welcome back. In this video, we're going to explore functions and parameters in JavaScript. Functions are one of the core building blocks of programming. They allow us to reuse code, reduce repetition, and make our programs easier to read and maintain. Let's start with the basics. A function is like a recipe or a set of instructions. You give it some input, it performs an action, and then it gives you an output. In JavaScript, functions help us group related code into reusable blocks. This is called a function declaration. Here, we define a function named greet that takes one parameter called name. When the function runs, it prints a greeting message to the console. When we call the function using greet, Sanchit, the message hello Sanchit is printed. Another way to create a function is by using a function expression. In this case, the function is stored inside a variable called add. It takes two parameters a and b and returns their sum. Function expressions are often anonymous, meaning they don't have a name. Functions can accept parameters, which are values passed into the function. They can also return values, which send a result back to where the function was called. The return keyword is important. It sends the result back from the function. Without a return statement, the function would return undefined by default. In modern JavaScript, we also use arrow functions. Arrow functions provide a shorter and cleaner syntax. Here, the square function takes one parameter and returns its square. Arrow functions are ideal for simple one-line operations. Notice that there's no function keyword and no curly braces. Now let's talk about scope. Scope determines where variables can be accessed in your code. Global var is available everywhere in the program, but local var only exists inside the function. Trying to access it outside the function causes an error. Let's quickly recap. We learned how to create functions using declarations and expressions. We saw how parameters work and how functions return values. We explored arrow functions for cleaner syntax. And finally, we understood the difference between local and global scope. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more coding tutorials. See you next time.